Virginia-style defense that completely confused them in that game. I mean, they had no idea what they were doing. They're just launching threes because it's getting late in the shot clock. They go 2 for 16 on threes. Just an awful performance. Got drilled in the second half by the Lions. Rebels should get into the win column tonight against Riverside.
Well, they better if they don't.
Oh,
boy. That seat that's, it's gonna start getting warm early.
He won't need any seat warmer in his car.
This is you look at it. You talked about the 3-point shooting. The backcourt went a combined 4 of 17 in that last game. I mean, as you said, they were absolutely mystified by that defense, scoring just 50 points. For a team that, it's been a far cry from the running Rebels, hasn't it, man? That used to be a halftime number. Do you, I wasn't out here to enjoy it.
Look, not for nothing. I can't even call them the running Rebels anymore. It's a name out of the past that doesn't apply. They're just the Rebels at this point. You want to get called running Rebels, do something to earn it.
Well, I think they're going to do it tonight because big adjustment on the total off of that first game. It's down. They got this total at 140. The total in the last one was 147. So you got a 7-point adjustment. Now, granted, you got to factor in, but as you said, that was a game that had a total of 147 that had a defense that was going to put you in a slow pace.
Right. That was a number. I don't think people knew, and I actually got the information before the game on a text that, hey, Loyola's using the this Virginia pack line defense, and the under in this game. The guy who sent me the text, the under in this game is gold, and boy, was he right. They won't see that defense tonight.
So with that said, I'm looking for the over in this game. I think UNLV needs to score a lot of points. They need that big convincing win, but I'm not going to lay the points with them because we've seen it too often. And Dave, I got to start. What are you giving the Rebels as far as a home court advantage these days? Because there's nobody. They're not prominent anymore. They're not relevant because now we have other sports in Vegas. They were the only show for us if we wanted something close to a pro team. Granted, this is college, but back in the heyday, that was as close to a pro team as you would have had.
I've lived here for it's getting close to 40 years now, and interest has never been this low in the college basketball team. Even in some of the leaner years, when Charlie Spoon had to take over for Billy Bano, and Charlie Spoon was a really good basketball coach, and he's the one who stabilized the program. But he took over a bad team. And even then, it was still UNLV was still the hot topic in town because they weren't that far removed from the glory days.
And what else did you have?
And there wasn't anything else. Now, the only glory days we can refer to for most of the people in the city, would be the Sweet 16 team that Lon Kruger coached. Mm-hmm. And they weren't relevant for a couple of years there. But aside from that, this stuff, these people are still, how's UNO going to get back to the glory days? Are you kidding? That's so long ago. You might as well be talking about the Thomas Edison era. I mean, it's forever ago. I can't believe people still talk about that. It's like it's relevant. It has no connection to today whatsoever. And now you got the Golden Knights, and people are already excited about the Raiders. And you can watch.
We're gonna have a minor league baseball team in a brand new stadium.
People can't wait for that. Especially with the way it looks like they're ahead of schedule. That stadium's going to be gorgeous next year, and a new tie-in with the Oakland A's. I mean, everything's good except UNLV, and it doesn't help the football program isn't doing it. It's just its usual self because there's just not a lot of interest in school right now. I hate saying that because I've been here for a long time and I want to see UNLV do well, but they just, at this point in time, don't matter to a lot of people.
At least the football team has the luxury of they're going to have the upgrade going to the new stadium with the Raiders, and that's going to force interest into
I would hope.
the UNLV team. So at least they'll have that. But the basketball team, like I say, when I handicap the games, I'm with you. I'm like giving them virtually no home court advantage at all when I do it. But I'm on the over 140. I actually like this game. It came very close to being a play.
It's $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk. I don't know who the $2 handicapper is.
Tony Finn.
I know Tony's having a heck of a season.
Yeah, he's off to a great start. So you can get him. And then when you buy Tony, you get a coupon. You can get a special for another hot capper, which happens to be me today. I'm going for my 9th win in a row in basketball. I started the season 8-0.
You obviously did not play and get screwed by the officials in the Jacksonville State-Penn State game.
I was sitting at the poker table, and I'm watching Twitter, and I saw your tweets coming through, and I said, "Oh boy, this isn't going to end. This is not going to end well."
This was not just an individual read. I mean, everybody who watched the game basically said this is terrible. The officiating in the last minute of that game it just wasn't fair. I'll leave it at that. But that's good. I'm glad you're doing well. I have a free play posted at the website, and I also have 2 games that you can pay for if you wish. And with that, we will go to our LPT play of the day.
It's the LPT play of the day. Tonight's best bet from Lions Physical Therapy. Your 5-star rated specialists.
And it is. It's a 5-star rated specialist. If you go to, I'm not making that up. If you go to the reviews, if you do a search, you do the Google search. I do this with restaurants. We did it in San Diego, and boy, how did that work out?
Yep. True Lux.
Because we ended up at as good a steakhouse as I've ever been to.
And you've been to a lot.
in La Jolla, and so have you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it was great. And had it not been for doing the Google search for reviews, we might have ended up someplace else. We would have ended up someplace else because neither one of us was familiar with the place. So these reviews are very meaningful, and they're more important when it comes to something like physical therapy than it is for a restaurant. I mean, how wrong can you get on a restaurant? If you don't catch a good meal, well, big deal. The next one will be better. But you screw up on getting the right physical therapy, that can have a more of an impact, I would say. Lions Physical Therapy has about as good reviews as you can possibly get. 5 stars out of 5 stars, and if you read the reviews, you'll understand why this is a company you can trust. You can trust as far as your physical well-being is concerned when it comes to personal injuries from maybe an auto accident or post-surgery rehab. Call them to find out more at 702-476-0222 or go to lionsptlv.com. Well, you're the one who's won 9 in a row. Go ahead.
Well, let's go with the game this is the game that just missed being on my card, and that is the over tonight in the UNLV game. I like the over 140. I just think it's, you talk about styles for fights and so forth. This is a spot where they're going to score some points. I like UNLV over the total.
All right. Yeah. And I hope they're a little more exciting. And just, this is, oh boy, I don't want to dwell on this, but the one thing that stood out watching them last year was how easy it was to confuse them with defenses. They just could not figure it out.
Well, that went back even to the old regime. They couldn't, if you put a zone on them. They couldn't shoot over top of zone.
I hate to say it, but they've had 2 assistant coaches in a row. To me, that's I think Dave and Marvin have something in common there. I think they're both good guys. They both can recruit like crazy. But I don't know, the head coach, maybe not the right. It's tough being a head coach. And you got spoiled by Lon Kruger because Lon's an absolutely great head coach. All I know is I've seen this team under Marvin, and they get stuff thrown at them, but they cannot figure out how to adjust. And it was scary bad the other night against Loyola Marymount because they didn't have a clue, and they're just throwing up these terrible shots from outside. They won't see that tonight. You're right. So I hope it's one of those games they can get in the 80s, get a good win, get a little more of a feel good aura around the team, and maybe it'll help them get some confidence as they move forward. Because right now it kind of looks like a long year.
That's sadly what I agree with.
All right, tomorrow Teddy Covers will be here. Patrick Everson will be here. That means we're going to get some real good, sharp information from the Strip because Patrick talks to all the sportsbook guys down on the Las Vegas Strip. Teddy Covers, well, you know who he is. Teddy just does about as good a job of breaking down games as anybody, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll thank Jeff Sherman and everybody at Superbook USA at the Westgate Las Vegas, home of the Superbook here in Las Vegas. For Marco D'Angelo and Mark Seidel, I'm Dave Koken. Hope you pick a few winners tonight. Stick around. Cofield & Company's coming up next right here on The Sports Leader. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Las Vegas Sportsline.